Hi, I'm Rhodes, and this is my epic Pez Wall. A project over 30 years in the making. It would take over 1,000 Pez dispensers, some creative engineering, and a wife that didn't bat an eye at spending hundreds of dollars and weekends of work on an art project that would potentially devalue our home. This all started when I moved into my home office and saw how bland my walls are. The only thing cool in my office was my dog, and even she looked pretty depressed. The inspiration came when my wife and I were cleaning out our attic. She discovered I'd been hoarding hundreds of Pez dispensers. Her reasonable question was, why do we own these? I'll be honest, I didn't have a good answer. They weren't really worth anything. I'm not part of some criminal underworld Pez smuggling operation. I guess I just always liked Pez and knew they'd be important one day. My wife is pretty supportive of my weird hobbies, but also values attic space. So she requested I throw them away or do something cool with them. I really wasn't aware of anything cool that I had previously seen with Pez, but I was up for the challenge. I ran some measurements on the wall behind my office desk and estimated I could fit over 600 dispensers, which would make for a pretty bizarre but epic background on Zoom meetings. When I demonstrated the blueprint to my wife, her first response was, "Only one wall?" I felt a bit emasculated that my Pez wall wasn't impressive enough. So in an effort to impress my wife, friends, family, and now the internet, I made plans for a second wall that would require over 1,200 Pez. Supplies. We'll need mounting racks, a cordless drill, a glue gun, drywall screws, glue sticks, L brackets, some LED strips, and of course, 1,000 Pez dispensers. As for the candy, I chose to throw it away. I went to the Pez aisle of the local hardware store and found some racks that would make a good shelf. After measuring once and cutting like 7 times, I got the shelves to the correct size. I added some hardware to mount the racks, and after drilling directly into my thumb only once, I attached everything to the wall. After making several more mistakes and returning to the hardware store more times than I care to admit, I stepped back to admire the most professional, yet totally unnecessary home improvement job I have ever completed. The wall was ready for Pez, but then I remembered something Ayn Rand supposedly once said. If it's worth doing, it's worth overdoing. It wouldn't be enough to have a wall covered with toys. It needed to be a fire hazard. So I tore the whole thing down and attached LED light strips to illuminate the collection. I took the nastiest glue gun I could find and began attaching the 1,200 dispensers. After several hours of gluing and making eye contact with thousands of tiny plastic eyeballs, I could take it all in. I saw the magnitude of what I had created. 1,000 cartoon heads staring down on me, like an Elf on the Shelf army. That night, when I finally turned the whole thing on, it must have been the opposite of how Oppenheimer felt.
Yes!
My creation could change mankind forever. It was a glimpse into a weird but awesome future. Something like Blade Runner meets Chuck E. Cheese. In the right hand, it could bring peace and serenity to the world. But the technology may be used in ways I can't begin to imagine. I get a lot of questions about my Pez Wall, and the number one question is, which is your favorite? There's some pretty cool dispensers out there, everything from Mr. Bean to the Golden Girls. But my favorite, and I know this may sound a bit narcissistic, was when a friend modeled my head in 3D and put it on a Pez dispenser. It's pretty much one of the best gifts anyone has ever given me. And as for my wife, when she saw the wall for the first time, her first reaction was, "What about the other two walls?"